Time for today's Bart Chart. Has Draghi slayed the spectre of deflation? Let's look at the evidence. When it comes to headline inflation, deflationary pressures seem to be easing. Look at the top chart there. This is Eurozone inflation over the last 12 months. There have now been 4 consecutive months of below zero inflation in the Eurozone. Nevertheless, consumer prices did drop 0.1% annually in March, which is an improvement, see the white circle, from the minus 0.6% in April, in January, which matched the biggest decline in prices in the history of the single currency, going back to 2009, the 2% target. To be fair, the ECB's 2% target, inflation target, is still, though, a long way off, and yet inflation expectations are picking up. The second chart is Mario Draghi's preferred gauge for inflation expectations. It's the five-year inflation swap rate. Now, back in January, it fell to 1.48%. That's the yellow circle there. That's the lowest since at least 2004. Since then, the trend, as you can see, has been improving, and Draghi's preferred inflation gauge has risen to 1.8%. Let's move on to the final chart I want to show. This is Germany's 5-year break-even rate. This is the yield difference between nominal and inflation index-linked bonds over the 5-year period. Now, this is another measure of inflation expectations. The trend down from a year ago through January. The low was January, when it fell to minus 26 basis points. The difference between nominal and inflation bonds back in January was minus 26 basis points, the lowest since 2008. And as with the other charts, the trend has improved to plus 87 basis points, or 0.87%, near the highest since May last year. So there's the evidence. Has Draghi slayed the spectre of deflation? From looking at these 3 charts, at least, you'd have to say that things are certainly looking up for the ECB president since those 3 lows in January. Keep looking at this chart.